Hello. Okay, y'all got to be more woken up than that. Try again. Hello. Hello. Hello, much better. Yes, they're going to talk just a little bit about how to achieve your dreams. So I want you to think what you think of when you hear these words. Tenacity, endurance, spirit, drive, excellence, desire, courage, heart, focus, class. Those are words that played on the screen yesterday as I was at an Alabama football game. Many of you know, no matter what fan you are, that Nick Saban has quite a knack for instilling excellence and success in his players. And as these words came up on the screen, I couldn't help but think about today as we're looking at how to achieve our dreams, how to take those big dreams and turn them into something that we can actually accomplish, because all of these are vital. But there are three things that you need that are essential to achieving your dreams. The first is to crave success. Second is strive for excellence. And the third is you have to equip yourself. Let's look at craving success. How many of you have ever seen a movie where there was some point, some pinnacle point, where the coach or parent was talking to the teen or the hero of the story and saying, you have to really want it? Anybody ever seen a movie that had a conversation mirroring that? That's exactly right. That happens all the time. And the reason is because unless we really know what we want and know why we want it, too many things can stop us. You have to really crave that success. You have to crave your dream. One way that I heard one of my mentors describe a good way to determine whether or not you really wanted something was whether or not you'd lose an hour of sleep every day for it. Think about that. If you really want to be a filmmaker, are you willing to get up an hour early every morning to study how to make films? If you want to be a superstar soccer player, are you willing to get up an hour every morning to practice before school? That's a good way to measure just how much you crave that success. Because your burning desire and how much you want to achieve your dream, that's what's going to instill that discipline, the motivation, the persistence, the endurance, all of those things that we know are necessary, but yet can fade away so quickly if we don't have that essential foundation, that we know what we want and we know why we want it. Another thing you need to know with this particular aspect of achieving your dreams is that you need to know why you want the little steps. So what I mean by that is when I was authoring a book at 17, there were a lot of parts I honestly didn't like. I don't particularly enjoy writing. I didn't like having editors go over and tell me everything that I did wrong. But I knew that my dream of becoming a published author before my 18th birthday was worth all of those little steps. And that's what you have to know. You have to crave that success to such an extent that you're willing to put up with the little bumps in the road and the part of your journey that you may not particularly enjoy. Let's look at the second one, striving for excellence. This is something I'm very passionate about, especially as young people. Our culture tells us to settle for mediocrity. Just think about that for a second. Our culture tells us it's okay to be average, that you're expected to graduate high school and then figure out what you want to do, or have any kind of desire as to what you want to do after that. Now, as we saw with the first presentation, that's obviously not the case all of the time, but we have to make a specific effort to go against what we're being told in our culture, and we have to decide that we are willing to strive for excellence in order to achieve our dreams. I was in a little town a couple of days ago, and my husband and I went to a fast food restaurant. And it struck me how, unfortunately, because of that, our culture so often almost demands mediocrity instead of demanding excellence. We went into a fast food establishment, and the lady said, "Have a good day." But I can tell you from the way that she talked to me, she did not mean it. She couldn't care whether or not I had a good day. She didn't care if she got her order wrong. She didn't care if she got our order quickly. In fact, we were in there for about 15 minutes waiting for our food because the entire staff was like that. Because that was the expectation, is as long as you technically do what the rule book says, you're fine. Think about one of your favorite restaurants on that note. I can almost guarantee you that one of the things that sets them apart is that they strive for more than that. That when you are handled, when you're talked to by a waiter or a waitress, when you're at a fast food drive-through window and they seem genuine and they're willing to go the extra mile to get you that extra thing of sauce or to help you figure out what you want to eat, that leaves a good impression in your mind. And that is what we should strive for all the time. We need to hold ourselves to an expectation of excellence. Because not only do we have to know in our mind that we're going to go against what normal culture tells us, but unless we strive for excellence in what we do, it's not going to be any different than everybody else. Because dreams in and of themselves aren't average. So why should our actions be average? 2 and 2 make 4, right? Not 7. So we have to make sure that we apply that craving and success and striving for excellence in order to achieve our dreams. But I want to take a quick minute here and point out that excellence and perfection are not synonymous. I am a perfectionist. I am, and I'll admit it. And one of the things that I have to determine on a daily basis is that I'm striving for excellence, but not necessarily perfection. Because too often putting perfection ahead of excellence, because they're not the same thing, will instead of helping you reach your dreams, it's actually going to hinder you. Because you spend too much time on the details and not enough time making sure that the entirety of what you're doing is excellent and is held to that standard. So make sure that you strive for excellence in your dreams. The next is to equip yourselves. I want to go back to that first presentation again. You can see that these students are equipping themselves for beyond high school. You can see that they are taking the extra mile to not only equip themselves, but to help equip others. But that's something that you have to do. You've obviously taken a great step in that you're here today. But you need to surround yourselves with people who have reached their dreams. Surround yourselves with people that you respect. You respect their opinion. You respect their desires. You respect their work ethic. You need to surround yourselves not only with the physical people, but you need to make it a priority that you equip yourselves with the tools that you need. And I'm talking about general tools and specific tools. For instance, if you wanted to be that filmmaker, you need to figure out how to create a film, right? You need to figure out how to write the screenplay. You need to figure out what all different parts you need involved, how to work the camera if that's your specialty. But you need to figure out those specifics. If you're going to be a star basketball player, you have to know the moves. And you have to be able to get the ball to go into the basket, something I am completely incapable of. But you have to be able to have those specific tools in order to achieve your dreams. You also, however, need to have the general tools. Did you know that there was a book written called Think and Grow Rich, and this man interviewed successful people everywhere, some of the most successful people in the world at his time. And Napoleon Hill, the author, found that there were specific traits that all of these successful people had. And actually, none of those traits were traits that you were born with. They were all traits that were developed. These traits are the kinds of traits that you need to learn. We don't have time to go through all of them, but a couple that really stand out to me. One is that you need to, like we said, surround yourself with people who know what they're talking about. You need to have that motivation. You need to crave that success. And these aren't all coming from his book, but that's one of the tools that I've used to achieve my dreams. You need to know how to set goals. You need to know the difference between your visionary dream and your specific goal and know how to make that differentiation and know how to achieve your goals. You need to know how to manage your time. More specifically, you need to know how to manage your actions because that clock is going to keep ticking no matter if I stop or keep talking. You need to know how to manage your actions within the time that you've been given. You need to equip yourselves with the tools needed to accomplish your specific dream. The good news is that by craving success and striving for excellence and equipping yourself with those tools, those words describe you. And your dreams can be accomplished. Now, I want to caution you not to get so boxed into one specific dream, because sometimes they change. But go after those dreams. Don't just dream it. Walk the walk and go after your dreams to make sure that those dreams, because of points like these, because of those tools, and that work ethic and those characteristics, can become your reality. Thank you.